there, and welcome to Home Computing, a show about a man, a woman, and his love for software. Today we're going to check out some software, and remember, software doesn't bore people, people do. I think I heard that in Congress. Coming up today, your computer can really heal you. And if it doesn't, we've got a program that can help. And we'll also find out what more we can do with our sound card. Join us for Home Computing.
Honey, will you come down and help me cook dinner?
I can't. I'm doing the show. I'm working on a medical program.
Well, why don't you look up pain in the butt and see if your picture shows up?
Thank you, honey. Yeah, the program I am working on is Dr. Schuler's Home Medical Advisor. And this program has it's kind of like having a little doctor that lives right there in your little computer. And what we have here is we're right now in the symptom file. You notice that there is a person standing there. And you can actually look around the person and look at an area that's bothering you. We're going to come over here to the man's head, click on ear, because we're in the symptom file. And let's say I was having a problem with my ear from being yelled at, which might fall under hearing loss. But let's go ahead and go to ear pain. We'll click ear pain. And you notice there's some information right here on ear pain. It talks about the most severe one-sided ear pain results from an infection, either in the ear canal or, so it gives you some information. But you can go one step farther. This kind of tells you what may be causing it. It also can diagnose symptoms to tell you if this may be something more serious or less serious. For example, well, he doesn't look like he's having ear pain, but have you sustained an injury to your ear? Well, let's say, no, we haven't had an injury to the ear. This guy's asking us the question, do you have an ear pain that increases when you tug on your earlobe? Well, don't tug on your earlobe, but no. Shouldn't do that. And do you have a mild pressure type pain in both ears along with a cold? Well, yes, we kind of have that. This gives us colds causing ear pain. And this explains to you a little bit. A cold or a viral upper respiratory infection is probably causing your ear discomfort. So we can click down through this file. It'll tell us all sorts of information on that. As you notice, as we get a little farther, it'll also say under normal circumstances, this can be resolved with chewing or yawning. And or decongestant sprays. So we can like click decongestant. This will tell us a little bit about decongestants and things to think about. If that was a yellow lettered word. If we get a green lettered word, this will actually give us some more information on that. For example, pseudoephedrine hydrochloride. Well, you can't order it because you can't pronounce it. But this kind of has tells you that it's trade name products. Contains with a decongestant, antihistamine, you know, something you can actually look up for yourself. Maybe you'll have a little bit more knowledge when you're talking to your doctor, things of that nature. Not only can we do symptoms, but we also can go into different areas, things that we may need to know, such as diseases, you know, and not that I've ever had any. But we got diseases, injuries, all the way, you have abdominal injuries, all sorts of, you know, broken ankles, gunshot wounds, if you have those. Poisons you can look up, for example, different kinds of poisons. For example, if you drank aftershave lotion, tells you exactly what to do. Also down here, some other things too, kind of neat. A test, actually, when a doctor says you need a certain test, you can click that and it'll have certain types of tests. You can actually say, well, what actually happens when I get an abdominal tap? Well, I wouldn't know. And then we go through our, we have a drug file, as well as a health and a diet file, which actually shows us different things and different things we can eat, different types of foods for different diseases and things of that nature. This program is called Dr. Schuler's Home Medical Advisor. We had a doctor look it over, and she said it was pretty good. Here are the system requirements. Okay, just in case the advice that's in your Home Medical Advisor doesn't work, we have for you now Will Maker from Nolo Press. That's right, it's exactly what it says. It's a will maker. You make your own will, and you can circumvent those nasty attorneys. Anyway, to do that, all you have to do is kind of enter some of the information about yourself and just kind of answer the questions and go along. Enter your first name first. Well, I'll just do first name only, Tim. And it says, is this okay? Well, it was with my parents. I guess it's okay with me. We're going to skip the Social Security number. That's not important. As to your state, go with Colorado. And is this okay? Yes, we'll go with that. Enter the name of the county in which you live. Well, we don't care about the county, so we'll just omit that from the record. Are you married? Yes. Is that okay? Well, depends on who you talk to. Is this okay? Yes. Enter your spouse's first name. Well, we just go by our little pet name called the wife. I'm married to the wife. Is this okay? Well, I'm not answering that question. This goes on TV. Do you have any living children, including those born to you or legally adopted? No, I don't. Is this okay? No, we're going to say yes, we do. We're just going to see where that takes us. Is this okay? Yes, it certainly is. Name all your living children. Well, I'm just going to, oops, I'll just say Tim, Jr., comma, wife, Jr. And that's right, we got the kids, Tim and wife, Jr. Do you have any children under 18? No. Is this okay? Yes. Have any of your children died leaving surviving children? No. Is this okay? Yes. Do you want to make specific bequests? Yes, this is the important part. Yes, I do. This is where you leave your stuff to people. When you go away and you can't take it with you, or at least you can try, there's some information there. You can also, when you name beneficiaries and specify the property being left to them, you can't add conditions, such as, you know, I'm giving the money to my wife only if she wears black for the rest of her life. That wouldn't pass, and also, unfortunately, though, that screws up a bunch of movie plots that I was thinking of. So let's go on from there, and we'll just leave the money to the wife. Is that okay? It certainly is, and she is one individual. Yes. Describe the property. Well, let's say the computer. Everything else goes to my cat. And in fact, you can't leave animal or property to animals. We'll say yes there. What if a beneficiary dies before you? Well, I don't want to think about that. Let's go ahead and in equal shares to the children. Is this okay? Sure. And we don't want an alternate beneficiary. So basically where we are here is we have our list of beneficiaries, and you can actually add in beneficiaries. One thing you need to think about too is the manual that has a lot of good legal information. And just in case you're the mean rich old Uncle Harry, Willmaker lets you make changes every time someone irritates you. So only look at the system requirements for Willmaker.
Honey, why do your friends always show up at dinner time?
Is that a rhetorical question? It's Glenn from Mediavision's having dinner with us.
Well, I hope he likes burnt chicken.
Well, I'm used to it. When we come back, we're going to find out all of the cool things you can do with the sound card. Stay with us. And welcome back again to Home Computing. And I have a guest now. That's right, he's Glenn Gottlieb. He's with Mediavision, and this is their product. It's Pro Audio Studio 16. Glenn, welcome.
Thank you, Tim.
You met the wife?
Met the wife. I was wondering what happened to her after I leave it to be here.
Oh, yeah, there she is. There she is. And good. She's looking good, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
Age
coming.
as well.
Why don't you explain to me a little bit about your company and what your sound card does?
Okay. Well, Mediavision is a leading supplier of multimedia products. We make the sound card, we make some video boards, we also make some component products and do CD-ROM titles. And basically what I want to show you today is the audio board, the Pro Audio Studio 16.
Right.
And everyone's pretty much familiar with what people use the audio boards for today, for the most part. I mean, it's entertainment, and so you want to get CD quality sound coming out of your computer, so you can, when you're in the middle of flying your F-15, and it sounds like you're in the middle of an F-15 cockpit, right? And all the sounds coming around you. People also use it to play CD-ROMs while they're working, to listen, and one of the other things they use it for is for educational purposes. For instance, like you can have an interactive encyclopedia where you can actually watch a lion run across the Serengeti and listen to the sounds that they make, or the sounds of sea animals, etc.
Well, let's take a look at what you got here.
Well, since most people are familiar with the gaming and the listening to the sounds, we're going to show some of the other things you can do with the sound card. One of the things that we have on the screen right now, this title bar right here, is used for the voice recognition, and so we can give commands through this microphone that I have in my hand here to the computer, and it will do things for us. And I have some applications down here that you can take a look at. One is a text-to-speech, so if you wrote a document and you want to proofread it, sometimes it's really hard to proofread because you know what you've written. So when you see the words, it's hard to really proofread it.
When you hear it back, it sounds a lot better.
Right. So when you hear it, you can actually hear some of the mistakes and some of the things that you like to do. So this is kind of a proofreading tool.
Okay, and also for people at home who might use this could actually be used for opening up programs, any normal program they have, Lotus or even...
the voice commands, yes.
Yes, the voice commands. Okay,
right.
Great.
And then one of the other things we'll do is kind of a recording session. We can do some music, and I'll show you how to do that.
What are we going to do first, Glenn?
Well, let's use the voice command, and we'll say, wake up, for the computer to wake up.
There it is.
All right, and then we'll bring up this application. So say maximize.
Oh, that's great.
And this is a letter. It's a fake letter, which so I don't want the SEC coming to me, but it's basically a letter written by Joseph, Jennifer, and Jonathan, and they are partners in a securities firm. They're looking at multimedia companies to invest in, and actually looking at a hostile takeover of one or two.
And for those people who are looking on at home, that top bar is where they would be looking when we do put voice commands. That's where the top bar.
Right. This top bar right here is for the voice command components right now.
Okay.
So one of the things we can do is, let's say we read this and we say, oh, look at there's an extra Y over here. We can say delete.
Okay.
And it looks like we've added some information here. We've deleted well. And so let's say, for instance, we wanted to take a look at the text-to-speech portion of this. And we'll just highlight this section here.
Okay.
And
this is actually going to play this right now.
yeah, this is going to play it. So what we'll do is we'll come up here and we'll say, put this onto the clipboard by saying copy.
Okay.
And we'll close this up, and we'll come over here to what's called monologue for Windows.
All right.
And we'll press the right button.
All right.
And we have a,
Wave out open error.
and we'll press the,
Media Vision's recent announcement of a component system called Memphis, and their recent announcement of some of the hottest CD-ROM
I've heard that voice
titles of
before,
the
but I'm
year
usually going,
show their
Whopper.
dedication
I said Whopper.
to breaking
It sounds a little bit like
French fries.
media market
No,
wide
Whopper.
open. PC
but it gives you an
computing
opportunity
magazine
to
called
listen
Vision
Oh, right,
to
right.
what you've
Audio
written,
sound card,
and then
the
be able
best
to
FM-based
go ahead and take a
card
look at it and
tested.
say, oh, I want to be able to change it this
I
way.
believe Media Vision deserves our joint attention immediately.
And that's,
Okay.
oh, that's great. Okay.
So those are one of the things you can do. So we can say, file close. We got to turn the microphone back on here.
Okay.
File closed. Okay, one of the other things we can do is take a look at some of the audio functions as we can create. I'm going to close up the voice recognition for right now.
Okay.
And this is yes, I do really want to exit. This is a very complicated piece, which is called Canyon, which was put together as a 3-track music piece.
Okay.
And we'll play it and listen to see what it sounds like.
It's the news theme.
It's the news theme.
And now back to the news.
Okay, and back to the news. And one of the things you can do is you can also create your own. For instance, one of the things that I did was I typed in the Saints Go Marching In
Okay.
right before I came. And so this is a tune from sheet music, and
And so you just did this ahead of time. You typed this in right off of the
Right.
music book. Okay, great.
right off the music book. And so what I'll do is just hit the play button. Now, obviously, I'm not the best
Well, Glenn, you think you got
composer.
a big? I think you got a
So I have a big hit here.
big hit.
Yes. Okay, so.
Let's see.
And so what you can do is, if you wanted to, you can create a new track, and just these are the tools. You can put your notes, etc., on here, and you can control how the music is done.
Okay. And should we do a couple voice commands?
Yeah, we can do a couple of voice commands. I have to bring the voice commander back up. Okay, we'll bring the voice.
So this you could like use for different programs. If you're in Lotus or different things, you could say, you know, open
Right.
file, things of that nature.
Basically, what the voice commander does is it takes the command lines off of the current applications.
Okay. What might be kind of a fun thing to try? Let me see. Can I sing? Will that put it in the music? No, probably won't put it in the music deal here. Well, let me try. Oh, how about this? I always have a golf game. Maybe I should try this. Doing my golf. Play golf.
No way, Tim. Your wife has dishes for you to finish right now.
Your computer knows you.
Yeah, I was going to say, honey, have you been touching the computer? Anyway, Glenn, that's great. Thanks so much. This was wonderful having you here,
All right.
and it was
Thanks for having
very
me.
interesting. And we'll be back after this.
When we return to home computing, taking your office on the road, stay with us.
Hi, welcome back to Home Computing. That's right, we have another guest here on our guest show. This person is a television producer. His name is Jack Palmer. Jack, thanks for coming.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
Oh, nice to meet you. Met the wife?
Oh, yeah, many times.
Good, you have? I didn't know about that. And Jack knows a lot about a couple of things. He's always on the road, he's moving, he's doing things, so he's got a laptop and he has to keep in communications with people, so what does he have to do? He uses his fax program, and now we're going to let him jump in and kind of fill us in on the laptop market and the different laptops and things of that nature.
Laptops are great. These days, they're just as powerful and just as fast as desktop computers, which means you can literally take your office on the road with you if you do a lot of computer-type work at the office. And what I want to demonstrate today is faxing from a laptop computer. It really keeps you in touch with the home office. Modeming keeps you in touch with the office, with clients, things like that. Okay. What we're going to use to do that is, this is an IBM ThinkPad 720. It's one of the newer laptop computers. It's real neat. If you can get a shot of the keyboard here, this is actually the mouse. People always wonder about that. This little thing here, it's called the track point 2.
Looks like an eraser.
Yeah, it looks like an eraser stuck between the keys. But you actually just move your finger on that to move the cursor around the screen. One of the other things that this IBM computer has, like a lot of computers have these days, is a PCMCIA slot on the side of the computer. And that's just an industry standard slot, and what it lets you do is add cards to a laptop computer the way you would add them to a desktop computer.
Okay.
And it's just a little opening in there, and the PCMCIA card we have today is called a World Port. It's made by US Robotics, and it's a fax modem card. And you can see it's just about twice as thick as a credit card and about the same size. This slides into the top port here. It's a little tricky. You don't want to force anything on computers. Do you get the wrench?
Well, we're out of time.
Slides in there. And when you can close that up, and you won't even know it's in there. But when you want to send a fax, you simply open that up. You take this little connector that they give you, and you plug this right into the side here, and you're ready to go. On the other end of this is the typical phone connector, just like you find on any phone. And because WorldPort has such a cosmopolitan name, they've gone ahead and given you an adapter here. So you can get these kind of plugs to work with European phone connectors, for example.
Great, yeah.
You can go over to France and send a fax if you
But
want to do something like that.
Anyway, so go ahead.
That would just plug into the phone wire. Now to send the fax, what I have here is a script, actually, from one of the last home computing shows that we did.
Okay.
I use a program called WinFax Pro because it's real convenient. There are a few of them on the market. WinFax works just like a printer. You click print, and up comes, it could just say laser printer up there, but instead it says WinFax. Print it. For a moment, the computer thinks it's going to print something, and then it says, oh, wait, he wants to fax. So let's say we're faxing this to you.
Okay.
I would type in Tim,
Okay.
and I would type in, I'll put in a fake phone number. Down here it asks, would you like to send a cover page? It comes with all kinds of cover pages, or you can make your own. I chose one that was pretty standard.
These cover pages would be graphical pictures, things of that nature?
Yeah, it's just like the cover page you would type up and send if you were using a regular fax machine. If you can see it on the screen here, you could type in some information. Up here I just put in the company logo. You could type a message at the bottom. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hit the send message, and here I hit send. And I'm going to cancel it because we don't actually want to send a fax. But if I had, you would have gotten a cover page that looked something like that. You can see it has the company logo at the top, and then it has information like to whom the fax was sent, where it came from, that sort of thing.
And it's just that simple. It's just like printing. It's kind of like using a word processor necessarily and just sending just like a job to the printer.
It is. And when you receive a fax in your computer, it looks like this.
Okay.
If we can get a shot of the screen. This should be coming up any moment now. It's kind of small, but we can click right up here on the plus sign, put the cursor wherever we want it, click it, and it's big.
And there it is. And so that way you can save paper, too. So the environmental people should love this.
I use it at the office as well as in the laptop because I can get a fax in, I can look at it, I can decide whether or not I want to print it, and then print it. And the other advantage is you print it on plain paper instead of that curly, I don't know what kind of tree that paper comes from.
Oh, and another thing we have, you can hook this right to your monitor and another keyboard, and you have actually kind of a desktop, too.
Theoretically.
Theoretically? Okay. Well, Jack, thanks so much for coming. It's been wonderful having you. And I think now we're going to look at the system requirements for WinFax Pro. Prince of Persia. That's what we're doing now. And Prince of Persia is a game, but more than a game. It's a kind of an adventure game. Prince of Persia starts, you are the prince, and you are dating the Sultan's daughter. Unfortunately, just when you thought you had it all, the evil magician Jafar assumes your identity, steals your beloved princess, and casts you out of the palace as a beggar. And that's where the scene begins. We actually are going to be jumping out of the palace window here with guards on our tail. And the first thing I'm going to have to do as I jump out is turn around, get a sword, and start fighting guards. There we go. You can see in the lower right-hand corner a little blue dot will appear every time a guard will show up. And I have lives in the lower left-hand corner. Those are the red bottles. Here comes another guard. Got him. This is eventually one day how we will all go shopping if society keeps up this way. I need a Twinkie. I need it. There we go. Now we can hide our sword and run. I'm handling all this through the keyboard. You can also use a joystick. Jump. Well, I didn't make it, but there are also many other levels. In that level, you run to a ship. There's some other levels, too, you can load up. For example, you'll be going through caves. Another thing you do is many times you fight all sorts of scary objects. Let's go ahead and jump here. We are now on the next level. We have to move gingerly over to this ledge here, as you notice, as I jump up and down for no apparent reason. It's just aerobics. I like to do aerobics. You will notice that, there we go, the ledge falls. What you have to do is crawl down this ledge. You actually have to hang on. I swing down. Normally around here, there's actually a snake to our right, so we're going to stay here, crawl down, whoops, do a little rap dancing right there. A little MC hammer right into the wall. Okay, here we go. Right through. We come out the little thing, and as you notice on the ground there, there's a sword. We'll put that away. We now have a sword. That's some pretty neat music. We'll go ahead and climb up. And be careful where you jump around here. Watch this. Oh, I knocked the ceiling down. Now, if you notice right above me here, there's a lady with a head who's going to chase us down. You notice she doesn't like this too much. As you see, she will spot me in a second. See? Ah! Look out. Oh, she's getting me from behind. Oh, okay. The lady with the head is killing me. Well, that's Prince of Persia. Basically, it's pretty easy to install on your system, but the levels can be very frustrating. You have to work very hard to get through each level. That was at least my experience. So let's look at the system requirements for Prince of Persia. Ever since Prince of Persia, I'm always looking over my shoulder for a mad lady's head. Actually, I've always had to do that. I think we're running out of time, so join us next time on Home Computing.